it's Ada from Pause and Rock, and it's really my pleasure to have with us. It's a name, a legend. Let's leave this to the fan to say it. Robert Barry from, I should say, 6x6 now.
I think you have the wrong Robert Berry. There's no legends here.
Right.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you for me as well. I'm good. And how are you doing? How are you doing?
You know, today I'm tired. We spent the last 3 days doing the video for the next single in the 6x6 album in San Francisco, which is about an hour north from me. And we went into this incredible place called Music City that is everything that has to do with music between, like, if you had a band and you traveled from Italy to San Francisco,
Yeah.
he has a hotel that has like 4 pods in a room so the band can all stay in a room, but they're like Japanese pods and stuff.
Yeah.
And you could stay cheaply, and it has 3 venues. It has 30 rehearsal rooms. It's really a cool place. So we went to do our video there.
Okay, so this means that it's gonna be a new single coming out soon of the 6x6, because
April 20th, I think, is the 3rd single. Right now, the second one's out and doing really well.
Yeah, because it's been released 8 days ago. Because I have to read because Obiliex, something like that.
You know, Ian and I both say it differently. Ian thinks it has an oblix, like an L, oblix, but I look at it's obliques. Right? So we don't know. Nobody knows how to pronounce it.
But what is the meaning then?
It has no meaning. Okay. Ian made up the word. And basically, the song is sort of about escaping all that's going on in the world, and the cruelty and the angry. Everybody's angry about something, and trying to find this beautiful place, that some people have found inside.
Yeah.
Our video says you have to go to Mars to find it. So
let's pretend that our planet is just our. Sometimes we can do that, just meditating, closing our mind, listening music. And I think that music 6x6 is perfect for doing that, because has the element of the, I want to say, classical music, not like Mozart, but classical rock. So rock that has been always spoken, we used to listen, and so when we were kids, especially, like I said, for me, and every kid when they started. And of course, with that, I connect the question that I think you know by now, your musical background, Robert, even if it's pretty common and people knows that, it's always beautiful to hear it from yourself.
I always say I was sentenced to music because my dad had a big band in the 40s and 50s, and my mom was a singer in my dad's band, and they didn't tell anybody she was pregnant for like the first 7 or 8 months because she was so small. So I was on stage before I was born with her singing. And it was, I think it made an imprint on me, as a human being, that I could never do anything but music. I had it before I was born. I started taking piano lessons at 6, took classical piano lessons for 8 years, majored in music at the San Jose State University And it was always music for me. I always had bands starting at about 11 years old. I worked with guys who were in high school, much older bands.
Okay.
So I got ahead of the curve with my band education. It wasn't until after high school, though, that I could stand my singing voice and started writing songs. I thought, songs need to mean something. You just don't write stuff, you little by little, working with, one of the wonderful people, Steve Howe from Yes and a band called GTR, Keith Emerson, Carl Palmer, a band called 3 from ELP, Ambrosia. Greg Kinn is a guy, you might not even know Greg Kinn, but he had big hits with Jeopardy. I've been with him 18 years. And Weird Al did a version of Jeopardy as one of his parody songs. So Greg is pretty big, I've just been really lucky, but it's always been music. And I showed you my studio a bit ago. I have the oldest equipment and the newest equipment at the studio. I love every minute of it.
So,
and that's my life.
That's you were meant to be. You're like you were saying, your mom was pregnant with you while she was on stage, and you're still on stage. That proves that sometimes even a music scene doesn't matter how old we are or how big our dream could be. We could just simply go through our paths. But let's say that your most was mainly fate, and of course you have to be a professional as well. So I think talent is one of the reasons as well, one of the key, you can say.
Sometimes I feel guilty because I get to do, and I've worked at it, but I get to do what I love to do, and I've been able to make a living at it and keep doing it. And I see people, I'm in the middle of Silicon Valley here. You know, we have eBay is 1 mile east.
Okay.
Netflix is 1 mile south. Apple is a half a mile north. They're all here. Google, you know, Silicon Valley.
Yes.
And I see these people working 14-hour days in front of a computer, and I know they're not happy. And I feel guilty because I'm so happy. I love what I do, and I love the people like you I get to speak with that love music too. You can tell you're in a group of people that just are all about music, and it's nice. But a lot of people aren't so happy here in Silicon Valley, working the long hours and behind a computer all day, you know?
Yeah, and I think with the time, if there is not like a kind of little bit of awareness, the people will go further and further and further into this type of, it's not anymore 9 to 5, it's maybe 9 to 9 the next day job.
Yeah.
So and it's gonna be more and more even involved with technology more, and that's, I think we are missing, because it's today, we're missing a lot of things that is going on outside. Even if I can understand you work 9 to 5, it's okay. You work on paycheck, it's okay. But maybe the day that you're off, just go outside. Just do something that make you feel happy. Use those money because a lot of people put all the money aside until they're waiting, I don't know, for maybe being, I don't know, old enough. Just a little bit. Do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Can be buy a CD record, for example. Just go out in a hike. Do something for yourself. Take a trip.
Whatever they love, right? Exactly. Everybody should have. So I say this to people that are married. If you have something that is you, uniquely you, not the two of you together, not your job, but like maybe you like to draw, you're an artist, or maybe you like to hike, like you said. If you have something that's uniquely you, then a marriage is much more successful because you bring those things together and you support each other. Here's what they do here. My friend at Apple, he goes, oh, they're feeding us lunch. We get free lunch now. We get to go down to the, I said, really? He goes, what about dinner? He goes, yeah, we get dinner too if we want it. I said, oh, so they don't want you to leave at all. They want you to work. They want you to eat. It's like working at home, you know, it's always there.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That's as well something like working. Sometimes it's okay. I can understand if you are, I don't know, digital nomad, like they call it today, working, remote working. It's a type of work, but do it. I think it's been created for traveling. Do it and travel. Shut down the plug and go outside, because we are already living in such a huge, big environment, climate change, that really, if we don't enjoy what we are right now, I don't know, in 15 years by now, what is going to be outside.
If it'll be there, that's exactly.
I don't want to know. So I take, for example, we are in April, almost. In Sicily, there should be around, let's say, 15, 17 degrees, like most of the world, like in spring. Is tomorrow, and 29 degrees. So meaning it's almost summer, like you have the hot summer, be like 120 Fahrenheit almost. So it's 100 and low. Wow. So people took the first bath today on the beach.
Well, you can get a tan. You could lay outside and get a tan. You'll be happy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind, to just, and then the next day you come back to the jacket, to the leather jacket, and then we have a desert, like desert, we call it sandstorm, which is just rainy sand. So then you have that, and then the next day you have snow in the north of Italy. Something is wrong.
Now, I am half Italian. My great-great-grandfather was from Lucca, Italy. Yeah. And where we did the video in San Francisco, Music City, Rudy, the guy that built this, his great-great-grandparents are from Lucca. Oh. And we look alike. We have the same kind of height and body and goatee. Yeah. So, I have to visit there someday, but that's northern, right? Northern Italy.
Yeah, I think Lucca is in Florence, in Tuscany.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. It's the land of one of the main, let's say, part of Italy where there is that, like probably the land of the culture, we can say. The culture, especially the art. You will see beautiful buildings, beautiful literature, paintings, all these amazing sculpture from, I don't know, the 15th centuries. It's really beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful country.
Well, see, I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Now the record company's gonna be mad at me, but I'm learning some good stuff.
But we are here to speak about 6x6 because it's I don't like the word super group, because when I was speaking with another musician which has a band that was labeled as super group, and he told me this, which is I think is really accurate. He told sometimes super group is meant to be like one project and then they're gone, because so we may be super group because we are coming from big bands as I don't know, big project. Yeah. So let's stick with that type of description. So you are a musician with a big past and a career, let's say like that. So yeah, I'd like to leave you the word to you, Rob, about of course introducing the people in 6x6 and how everything started, because of course like how all of you connected.
You probably know that I had a band with Keith Emerson.
Yeah.
Back in 1988, we had a top 10 single. Keith got criticized for doing it and not being an ELP. So eventually he broke up the band because he can't take the criticism. 27 years later, they put out a live album. Keith got a copy of it. He calls me. Wow, I just didn't realize what a good band we were. This is so good. So I said, well, let's do a follow-up. He goes, okay. We work on a follow-up. In the middle of the follow-up, Keith committed suicide. And he had problems I didn't know about at home and health issues and stuff. But he basically had some concerts and stuff that he didn't really want to do. So I finished up the album. It did very well, fortunately, because I wanted to show that people say, oh, Keith, he couldn't play anymore. No, that wasn't it. He still was creative. He could still do things. And look at how good this is. So I finished it, put it out. It went really well. But my manager says, what are you going to do now? And I say, I want to find a guitar player just like Keith. Keith was the keyboard player that had all these ideas and was really great to work with. And we were prolific together. We just did a lot of writing, and we could put every day we could do something. But I didn't know a guitar player like that. It was like Steve Howe and Yes, but I wanted somebody heavier than that.
Yeah.
And he called me. My manager called the next day and said, what about Ian Crichton? I went, I should have thought of that. He'd be perfect. He has an identifiable style like Keith. You know when he plays.
Yeah.
But he's only played in Saga. So why would he want to do something else? He goes, well, here's his number. Call him. I called him and he said, oh, yeah, I know your music. He goes, I'm really interested. I want to do a 3-piece band where the guitar is more featured. Saga has a lot of keyboards. So we started writing. And just like with Keith, it was magic. For me, they send me the parts kind of. They write these little things and then I make them into songs.
Yeah.
And then they work on them. So it's the same working relationship.
Yeah.
The songs started really coming out great. We did 8 songs in a couple of months. We need a drummer, we need a record contract. So I knew Nigel Glockler from GTR days with Steve Howe. And for Ian to play all the guitar he plays and to be free, to be just more incredible than he's ever been before, you need somebody with a really solid beat that can play all the fancy stuff, but has a feel. I've used an example before, like would be able to play Michael Jackson's "Beat It" that just goes boom, boom, and it has a feeling. The guy who's not doing anything has a feeling. So Nigel has a feel when he plays. Plus, he can play all the fancy stuff. And I thought, well, gee, he's in Saxon for 40 years. Like call him, I say, Nigel, what do you think? He goes, I'm in. I want to do it. Really? He goes, yes. I'm looking for something where I can play and do more stuff, more creativity. So great. We got together. They all came into my studio, which I showed you some of it.
Yeah.
And we recorded the first album. We felt really good about it, but who knows what people are going to think? We're doing what we love to do. And the beauty is Ian's playing all the guitar exactly the way he wants to play it. I'm not saying, well, Ian, why don't you do this or do that? No, he's doing what he wants to do. Nigel's playing the kind of drums he wants to play. I'm writing the kind of lyrics and melodies I want to do in the bass. And it just fits together as 6x6. So then we needed a record contract. And our dream label would be Inside Out, because they have just so many great groups that we feel we fit in with that label. We're not signing anymore this year. We're full. Well, let's send you a song. Send him a song. The head of the company, I want you guys. Okay, we have a deal. He liked it that much. And from there, it took off. And we're not a project, we're a band. We're not a project, we're not a super group.
No. But I may ask you, which was the song that you sent to the label?
We sent them, I'd have to get the album to remember what it was. Give me 1 second.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm thinking the new album. So
okay.
Here's the old album.
Okay.
Yearning to Fly.
Okay.
And I think that was also maybe the first single they released that got people really I think, anyway.
I got really low with that song.
Yeah, it's that's a year and a half ago now.
Because you went out straightforward with the first album, which is a 6x6, the first full length released. And of course, going all together and writing the music and the sound. Of course, I want to ask about the meaning of this album, the sound-wise. How do you produce it? How do you feel it? How can you express it? Like, of course, as your point of view.
So, interesting. Like I say, on the first album, we did what we do, although I had to put the pieces together and sort of write the songs out of all the things. But we did what we want to do the way we want to do it individually. And it became 6x6. It became our sound. So we knew it was real to start with. It wasn't like, oh, we want to sound like Yes, or we want to be Rush, or we want to be Foreigner. It wasn't that at all. We just did what we liked. And I wrote the kind of lyrics I wanted to write, which are, I try to be kind of positive. Everything, even if it's a negative, there's a positive slant to it. That's what I like to write, And so here we are, successful first album. We have to write a second album.
Yeah.
We start working on it. And I send something to Ian. He goes, oh, this isn't as good as the first album, is it? We had this standard we had to meet, and we wanted to go past it. We didn't want to make the same album twice in a row. We wanted to be heavier, more guitar, a couple of longer songs. And those are the only parameters, though. But we had to get good songs. So after the first 2 months, of like, these are okay, but we're not doing better. They need to be as good, if not better. That I decided, one of the things that I always say is, it's easier to fix an idea than it is to get an idea. So when I get an idea, I put it down. There's the idea. Okay, there's the words, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then you go back and you say, how can I make that better? But if you stop right away, if you don't put the idea down because you don't like it, it's writer's block, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly, the writer's block. Yeah.
I went back, first 2 songs that we thought weren't good enough. I started to rework them and fix them, right? Fix that. I sent it back to Ian. He goes, oh, I think we're getting somewhere. I said, we are, but you need to work on it now. So he worked on it, sent it back to me. And the writing part of it, after those first 2 songs sort of grew,
the
rest of it was easy. We were in whatever this new piece of us was going to be, we were locked in.
That's beautiful. And of course, like, because of course the title of the new album, that we're gonna say, it's completely there are the pre-order open, right, for the new album.
What, you cut out right in the middle of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. So that there are the pre-order opens for Beyond Shadowland, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So people can already go and pre-order.
It worked.
Yeah.
It was the same with Nigel as on the writing, by the way. You know, he got involved this time in the writing. And one of our favorite songs, which is funny because no one ever mentions it, the record company, I don't think, likes it, the manager doesn't like it, is Titans, which started with Nigel. And we love the song. We think live, that's going to be just a monster, right?
Yeah.
But no one's said a word, so we'll see.
I mean, I think that because let's say to the people that maybe go, you know, with the number 2 now, is the sixth track. So yeah, people are gonna go straight and forward to see. Let's see if it's my favorite. But of course, I was asking you, like, Beyond Shadowland, what does it mean for you? Like, as a title, it's like a random title track, like a title album, or it has a kind of that even meaning? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, the first album, which I'm not trying to sell albums, but this cover was done by my friend Rob Fowler. He's a graphic artist.
Beautiful.
He's done all the 3 stuff. He made this up, and I said, Rob, we need a cover for the first album. And he goes, well, I've been working on it, because I talked to him about what we're doing. Okay. And he sent this. The band loved this cover, right? The record company loved this cover, so we went with it.
Yeah.
We're doing the second album, and I say, hey, Rob, you know, we're doing another album. The record company would really like you to do the art, you know. And he says, I've already been working on something. I knew you were working on the album. He said,
was ready.
The first album, nobody knew who you were in the first album, right? And we kept it a secret until it was released. We didn't tell anybody. Yeah. On the second album, you need to come out of the shadows, right? You have come out of the shadows. You need to go beyond the shadows. He goes, I have a cover and I have a name for the album. I'll send it to you. And he sent me the new album cover with Beyond Shadowland, the title.
And you keep it because it was perfect.
Yeah, the band and the record company and management said, wow, this is really great. And we love the art, you know, and it's an airplane this time. So if I don't know if you've seen the cover.
Yeah, I have it
we're back
in front of me. I have it in front of me.
Yeah, we can't really see it here, but over in the far end, way over here, we are coming out. That's us in that cover. Oh. So
I see. I have it on my phone, but I see. Yes. There are 3 almost shadows. So so you're going towards the plan.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, we did the same with the music. We wanted to be heavier, you know, bigger guitar sounds, bigger drums, a little, Ian likes it when he calls my lyrics psychedelic, where it's not exactly pinned down. Everything's like perfect. Yeah. It leaves a little more open. And I think the lyrics on this one a little more open.
Okay.
So people can interpret what they like beyond Shadowland itself. They can interpret it the way they think.
Exactly.
And yeah.
That's and I mean, like I said, the cover art is beautiful, and it gives as well sometimes, if we want to leave to the people the, you know, even the interpretation of the cover. It could even mean, I mean, some people can be captured by the plane, some other people can be captured by the light, how they go into these peaks of these rocks, mountain, and that's what is beautiful, because it's open to interpretation. Like, I think all the 11th song in the album as well, because I mean, I don't think there is like a main concept in this album. Like, this is like a topic album. I think it's more like influenced by everything.
Yes, and even style-wise, we went from well, like the new single, which I call Oblix. It's Obelix, I think is the way it's really pronounced, but Obelix. It's see, it's nobody knows, and no one's ever going to know, because Ian and I say it different. But that song is kind of tranquil. It's heavy, it's big, but it's tranquil, it's smooth. And for me, I think it has the best guitar solo on it that Ian's ever played. I love it. It's the raw emotion in that.
Wow.
And that song is about leaving, the earth and finding euphoria. And when he plays that, I go, oh my God, it's just raw but beautiful. We went there. We went a little more progressive, a little less progressive with Titans, a little straightforward, kind of a chant and stuff. And then we have Only You Can Decide, a real folky kind of lightweight kind of acoustic thing, just to sort of break it up in the middle.
Yeah.
Those are all things we like. So we did what we wanted to do. We didn't say, oh, here's our style packaged all into this package. There you go.
Because I think you have your own background as a musician, but as well growing up, you change it that well. It's not like you stick in the 70s or stick in the 80s or in the 90s. It's kind of a melting pot. And being professional musician, like each one of you is, you have the experience how you want to put your life, your whatever in music, in sound, in words.
Yes.
So I think even if we want to, we can't label 6x6, but it's that kind of band music that can be listened, like I was saying, from my father, for example. By the way, I love the arms of a word. But yeah, because my dad was like, you see, you have to do this more, because from now on, he wants me to interview all the band that he likes.
And the arms of a word is important to me, because that's kind of me talking about all the clickbait stuff that's going on in the media and how bad it is and how they're making us angry with that. Words are so important, and the arms of the word, it brings us in or brings us together, or it captures us. It's really bad right now, and it's not going to get better, because now we have AI that's going to lie to us too. So
you know that already. I'm sorry. It could be useful if people should how to use properly. But let's be honest. We had all the social media, we had internet when it started. It never was used properly, and now we have AI, we have Neuralink. This is which is even scary at cheap and the bread. So let's.
I know that they're doing that. I know.
Yeah, it was a movie. I was in a movie. These things were in the movies when I was like 2-3 years old. Even when my dad was a kid. Now they are really scary. So even what we see and listen in the TV, in the media, in the news is not always what is happening completely true. So that's why I think that we are seeing a lot of independent journalists there right now getting detached, which is a kind of good thing. So the song is important as well, like you said, because we can feel free, but at the same time, the kind of opposite side of the coin, we can feel blocked with all what's happening. The AI is one of the worst things. That's why I like when you can feel like in 6x6, the music, really, you can perceive still that sound that was in the 70s, in the 80s, but with that knowledge of today, with equipment of today, which is not AI. You know better than me, being a producer as well, the difference. You can work in analog, you can work in digital, but at the end of the day, you're not doing that, putting prompt or script in a AI, whatever it is.
Right.
That's
it goes way. I'm going to hold this up again. Again, I'm not trying to sell albums. This is when I get an album or a CD, even I feel it, I touch it, and I open it up and I read the booklet and stuff. It connects my heart and soul.
With the band.
It's not especially the ownership.
No.
It's the feel of,
exactly,
wow, somebody spent a lot of time. I can feel the money, the time, the art. I can feel it when I hold it, right? And that's disappeared now from music.
Exactly.
Which is what AI is going to do to everything in life if we're not careful.
But the things that we, for example, spend money in so unuseful things, and then we complain if we spend even 40 euro whatsoever dollar on a vinyl, for example. But I have still vinyl of my dad in there when he bought when he was 20s, 18 years old. Of, I don't know, even the beginning of the AC/DC, even older bands. I have Johnny Cash, my grandfather was buying. So these things last almost 70 years, 80 years by now, and this is the same things of today. And the worst thing is that people creating AI video, they're selling them. So people is buying AI video. Do the opposite. Buy a vinyl. You will have a real video, because that's what is gonna be used money for mainly as well. To having real video, well-produced video. Because for me, when I look to a band, I want to feel the band, not see something real. I want to see who is in the band. I want to see how they are playing, the emotion that you are putting in something, and not bunch of cartoons and that I was taking. But
yeah.
So Robert, I'm thankful for your time, because people might don't know, but this is the second attempt of doing interviews. But it was really a pleasure, because we even said different things. That's mean that there's a good you have a good, I mean, your musical background is history, and today with the present and the future. So that's important, having musician like you and all the other musicians 6x6 still making music for today and the other generation to come. So thank you, Robert.
And you're lovely to speak with. You're lovely to speak with, and you're Italian, which makes it even more important to me.
Thank you. And maybe sooner you're going to be in Lucca to see your native land, let's say like that, from your ancestor. And looking forward to see 6x6 live soon somewhere. Really looking forward.
Well, thank you for your time. You've been, as always, you're lovely to speak with, and I hope to speak with you again, honestly.
Yeah, maybe for a review of the album. That's better. We're gonna explore all the single, all the title, all the tracks one by one, which is interesting.
Okay.
Thanks. So I will reach out. Neil will hate me.
Okay. Yeah. After the album's out, I try not to analyze them right now.
Okay.
We're starting to work on a third album, and maybe after it's out, then I'm okay. But I don't want to think, because they flow out.
Yeah. After a little while, that is out. So.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Passing the stars on a face.